Continuing our video on masking, what we're going to do now is we're going to get into masking of speech. And what happened here was my headphones is at 40, my inserts is at 70 when we're talking about air. But sadly, inserts have a curveball, and that's at 60 when we're talking about speech. So what's going to happen is, again, if I notice that I have a gap of 40, I'm going to have to mask, okay, for my air. If I have a gap of 70, I'm going to have to mask for my air. But if I have a gap of 60, I don't have to mask for air when I'm using inserts, but I am going to have to mask for speech. And in this part of the video, we're going to talk about how to mask for speech. So, again, you need to have a gap of 40 for headphones and a gap of 60, okay? And what will happen then is I'm going to have to mask for speech. So how the new IHS wants you to do it is basically figure out what order to go in. And the first thing we're going to do is get our SRT, MCL, and UCL in that order. And what's going to happen is I have a sloping hearing loss, okay? And at 500, 1,000, and 2,000, I'm going to add these up, I'm going to divide by 3, and I'm going to get an average called a PTA, okay? And let's say that my PTA is 40. What they're stating is that my SRT shouldn't be greater than or less than 10 of 40. So that means that my SRT should really be at 30, 40, or 50, somewhere within that realm. It also states that if your SRT is not within that realm, that the SRT is not something that you keep retesting. You have to redo all of your air scores, okay? So that's how we start with SRT first. My SRT, I'm going to get by figuring out my PTA, and that's going to tell me my SRT, and so therefore when I get it, and it's within this realm, I'm good. The next thing they want you to do after you get your SRT is they want you to get your MCL. So say my SRT is 30. My MCL is going to be somewhere between 20 to 40 decibels higher than my SRT. And so basically what you can do is start at 40 above that, start your MCL, and then basically go down 10 until it starts to become comfortable, and then you can always go up 5. It's always down 10, up 5, and then this is where your MCL is going to be. UCL is a little bit easier. The UCL is basically just taking your MCL and adding 5 decibels to this until you basically reach that patient's point. Another interesting thing about this is that if you find that your MCL is 80 or above, they most likely have conductive hearing loss or a conductive component. The UCL of somebody who has conductive hearing loss or a bad conductive component can actually handle sounds that are well above 100. So now when it comes to masking, okay, what's going to take place is that I'm only going to mask 2 things when it comes to speech, and that's my SRT and my word recognition score, okay? So what's happening here is that I have to mask for my right SRT. So let's do that in red. My left SRT did well when I was doing my audiogram, and so it's not the one that I need to mask for, and therefore this is the non-test ear. Say my SRT was 30. Once again, we're adding 10. 10 seems to be really popular. So I'm going to add 10. After I get my SRT, I'm going to add 10. Give me 40. I'm going to put 40 decibels of narrow band noise into the left ear, and now test my right ear that needs to be masked, because this is where I ended up having either my 40 decibel gap with headphones or 60 decibel gap with my inserts. And then this way, by placing this into the non-test ear, I'm going to get an accurate SRT. Staying with that same scheme, I have my word recognition scores of my right ear. I have my word recognition scores of my left ear, okay? And this is pretty unique. What I'm actually going to be doing is taking the MCL of my test ear, okay, and say my MCL was 60. I'm going to minus 20 from that, which brings me to 40. I'm going to put 40 decibels of narrow band sound into the left ear while I get the word recognition of the right. Probably the most complicated masking rule, but nonetheless, that's how you do it. Again, just to reiterate, I'm going to find the MCL of the test ear. Take that, minus 20 decibels from the MCL, which will give me what I need, and that will be the decibel of narrow band noise that I'll place in my non-test ear to correctly mask word recognition. And that is how you mask for speech.